Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I know we just put this up because we're still trying to decide between going live on Mondays or Wednesdays, but we just said let's pick one. Hello, Ngozi. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Um, so I'm coming live to you all from Charlotte, North Carolina, and with me is Ngozi from Houston, Texas. And because you look interesting. Where the bras at? They on? All right. So in this video, we're going to it's basically a follow-up of the last video that we had. And in that video, we really went into depth. We talked about the article about the top cities Black Americans are moving to. In our last video, we took a clip of that video and we talked about my biggest issue with Charlotte, North Carolina. And it seemed that a lot of people were in the comments, people who recently just moved, and one girl was even like, "Yeah, I just moved here and I'm ready to go." Another person said they've been here like 6 months, they're not feeling it. So it just makes it's interesting to know that a lot of people are feeling this way. And ironically, because we had that live about a week and a half ago, but this Sunday I had two separate conversations with two different group of people saying the same thing again. I was like, wow. So this is a common thing. We just can't let it pass by. We just can't ignore it. Obviously, there's an issue that a lot of millennials are having with the social scene in Charlotte that's prompting a lot of people to move to other cities, such as Dallas is really hot right now, Houston, Atlanta, New York. I know of a lot of people personally, like literally, who have already left on their way out or plan to leave because they're just tired of Charlotte in general. Personally, I don't feel that way, but I see where they're coming from. I definitely understand if concerns. I do. I don't necessarily. It's not as that bad to the point that I'm ready to get out and leave, but I definitely share some similar concerns like they do. So basically, in the last video, we talked about, and Gussie pointed out that she think the issue with Charlotte, because she's been here 8 times, she kept reiterating that her biggest issue with Charlotte is that she feels as if they don't have enough spaces that cater to young millennials. That was her biggest issue, and I was arguing her, saying, I'm going to put the link of the video in the description box. I was arguing with her, saying that I think she's trying to say they just don't have enough like ethnic places, like African places or Caribbean places, which is true as well, because I know there was a place called Crystals, a Caribbean, a Jamaican club that closed down, never been. I hear about a lot of other things that are no longer here. And basically, from the conversations I had on Sunday with different people, I think what we're missing is the issue of Charlotte. People don't really mingle with each other. So basically, like for example, I live in Uptown. I'm on the border of Uptown and South End. If you're in Uptown, Uptown has a lot of spots that are very either like there's a lot of black owned spots, it's just gonna be just black people, or there's gonna be white spots, there's gonna be just white people. And same thing with South End. South End has two black owned spots. We mentioned 1501, we mentioned Cloud. Those are gonna be black people, obviously, they're black owned. Then if you go to other spots in South End, they're basically all white. So I think basically what we're trying to say that there was a lot of back and forth. And I think it made me realize that after all the conversations I've had with different people in Guzzy, friends, cousins, that basically the difference between here and being up north is that Charlotte is very diverse as far as the people that it contains. It has a diversity, but do people really mingle with each other? Are there a lot of spaces where we see a bunch of different ethnic groups in one common space and they're having fun? So that's the question. And as far as I've been here almost 3 years, I don't see much of it. I'm not gonna lie. I realized I really do. I never noticed for some reason. I just never noticed it because I'm just like, okay, I'm going to black owned establishment, everyone's black, or I go to other places. So I mentioned to the girls I was talking to, I was like, okay, how about the rooftops? They're like, no, the rooftops are not really diverse. No, like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I think that for the most part, when I go to most of the rooftops, I do notice that there's a decent mixed crowd. At least but I don't go that often. I haven't been to a rooftop in a while. They're like, no, like, no, that's not it. That's not the mixed crowd. So I'm just interested to hear from people in the live. If anyone is joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina, I really, really would be interested to hear people's opinions, because it seems like a lot of people feel the same way and they have the same views. And like in Gussie, I said in the last video, again, I'm going to put in the description box, that she doesn't necessarily want to always be at a black owned establishment. She's not saying that for a place to cater to black people, it necessarily has to be black owned. what she's saying, I guess what she was trying to say is that it has to play certain music or have a certain vibe that welcomes other people, right? Like if you want other people to be in your establishment and you want other people to feel welcome, there's certain type of music you probably will play, there's certain type of vibe, or certain type of aura that you'll probably have that will make other people feel welcome. So again, anyone in the live joining in from Charlotte, I really like to
know
hear your opinions.
I know we scheduled this late, so people may still be joining, not expecting us to be live right now. But I think the biggest issue is not even necessarily, I think I can make the same argument for Houston in terms of sometimes I feel like it could be very segregated. But the point I make is that Charlotte is 35% black. You
Right.
don't need to integrate. The 35% black should equally have, that means that one third of Charlotte establishments should be all black or cater to black people. And I'm almost positive that's not the case. To me, I don't necessarily think it's like separate but equal. People fought for integration because separate wasn't equal.
Mm,
That's why we ended up integrating. And I don't think that necessarily integration has to be the answer. It was the answer for America in the 60s. People are still divided on how that turned out, whether it was for the best or the worst.
right. Especially African American studies. My professor used to argue that like integration was the worst thing that happened to black
But
people.
we fought for integration because separate would never be equal.
Right.
As long as you're separate, it would never be equal. So the thing I have is that for Charlotte, I have 35% has more black people than Houston.
Really?
Yes, Houston is about 23. I can Google it right now. 24%. Has more. Has a higher. It doesn't have physically more black people. Yes, because we may have a bigger
Which was a
population.
bigger, right? But you're saying
Yeah,
the
it has
breakdown,
a
the
higher
ratio.
percentage of black people. But when I go to Charlotte, I don't feel that way. I wouldn't feel like I'm in a.
But it's the same argument before when you made when you know showed off to people on the live and they're in the 10th place in Charlotte. Do you not understand most of the places that you listed were black owned?
Yeah, Houston's 22.6, yeah, 23%. I'm not talking about who's owning it. I'm talking about who's going into it, the crowd. You're saying that it's black as a black crowd? All those places that
Yes,
name
those
that are
places you named are black owned. The crowd is that's the point I keep trying to argue with you. That I feel like Charlotte does have a lot of black owned establishment. The issue that you just
are
don't
they
like.
nice? Are they
Exactly,
ghetto?
exactly. That's
Is the crowd nice? Is it upscale? Is it a place that you would feel comfortable going to? I'm not talking about just, but like I said, legit nice spots. That's what I was emphasizing on the live. Not just about having the spots that are nice, that are classy, and that have a good crowd. That I'm not going to go there and feel like I'm going to get shot or something's going to happen to me or someone's going to steal my wallet or something. Like I just feel like Charlotte doesn't have that. I know I don't live there. I haven't been everywhere. I get it. I understand. But for a city that has such a large black population, I would expect it to have at least two or three nice upscale spots that black people go to and hang out in and converse. It doesn't have to be
but
only
you're
black
saying it
people.
don't have to only be black people. That's the point you were making in the last in our live.
We don't have, it doesn't necessarily have to be all, but it can, like, okay, for example, I was at Basu Friday. It was a Friday night. Basu, that's in River Oaks area. It is not a black spot per se at all. But we went there. One of the DJs had a Nigerian DJ, and like
Wow.
legit, it
So
was
they're
mad
just
black
they
people
have
there.
integrated the culture.
They're catering to it. Like they're integrated. Like it's not. I wouldn't say it's a black spot. I doubt it's. I mean, it's part of the Clay group. It might be. Let me Google right now. I don't know if it's black owned, but I'm just saying like it was not a all black place at all. Like it wasn't, but it was still like lit. Like it's not. You're gonna go there and hear elevator music and just be around. Like like. I'm just Google it right now, but I'm just saying, like, I understand, but I'm talking about a person in Charlotte's going to be a nice area, premium area. What is your top area you have in Charlotte? It's going to be located there, and you're going to go in there and see a lot of black people. But it's not necessarily all. It's not ratchet. It's not hood. It's not the club. Like legit, just a spot, a vibe where people can hang out, listen to music,
Well,
eat, relax.
the problem is I feel like there's definitely do exist. Is Fume is nice. 1501 is in a very nice area, South End. Across the street is Cloud, like you mentioned, a very nice area, South End. Those are very nice areas of Charlotte. But I think the point, like you mentioned, is like more of maybe the crowd, right? Because you can have a very nice establishment and you still don't like the crowd. It could be a place,
A nice spot.
and a place could just be okay and have a great crowd, right? A
Mhm.
place doesn't have to be all fancy. So I think sometimes we get caught up in the aesthetics of these places. We get caught up in how they look, but that doesn't necessarily determine the vibe of the place. A place can look very nice and still not have the vibe that you're looking for. So I think also too, on my end, what I'm going to try and do is start doing a little bit more exploring. Like even like I made an itinerary for the weekend because my friend's coming down from Raleigh, and I realized that there are places that I haven't been to like that. So like okay, so for example, like on other day we were at an event and this girl says Charlotte is boring. Okay, and this is the issue I have with some of my friends. One of my friends actually moved from Charlotte too. She knows who I'm talking about. They'll say Charlotte is boring. So the other girl's like, okay, what do you really do in Charlotte? I don't go anywhere. I stay home. So then again, it's just like, how can you say somewhere is boring?
But they may not even feel like entertaining because they've been out a few times, they didn't hit. So I don't feel like necessarily have to go out every weekend. That's why they don't go out, because maybe going out, they don't care for what they go out and see. They don't care for the vibe. They don't care for the crowd. They don't care for what's available to them. So that's why they don't go out, because they know when they go out what to expect, and it's not it for them. So I get what you're saying, Stem, but I don't feel like you have to go out every weekend to know you don't like somewhere,
Of
or to
course.
know that a place is not it. Like, it's not the vibe. Like it's just not what they're looking for, and that's okay. That's fine.
Mm,
Everything's not for everyone. Same reason people say Houston's not for them. It's fine. It's okay. But Riyadh, I'm just saying, me personally, one of the biggest reasons why I feel like I said I don't see myself ever living in Charlotte. Main reason I would go there because yeah, my sister's there, but even then, it's like my sister's not paying my bills. Like, I need to have a job, a man, like something really bringing me there. And it's like I just feel as if from when I go out in Charlotte, I just be like, I just feel like I would go to Charlotte. I just be not, like, I wouldn't like. I'm not in Houston going out every day. Trust me.
mm,
Don't get me. Don't. I'm not. I don't have energy. I don't have money. Going out in Houston is very expensive. Video going to come up
right.
coming up on that. It's not cheap to go out here. But I like the vibe. Like, I feel as if I want to go out,
You know it's gonna be lit. You
I'm not at loss for
any
places.
day of the week is gonna be
Yes,
lit.
like right tonight, I know where to go. If I want to be lit tonight, I know where to go. I'm not at and out
That's
here.
the part.
Yeah, like I'm not at loss for place things to do. It's not an issue. It's not a. I don't want to go somewhere and build it up. I'm not Bob the Builder. I want to go somewhere that's already built and I'm entering it. I don't want to go there. I get it. Everyone has their own calling. Everyone has their own fight. So some people have to be the person to up. Houston probably wasn't always like this. Someone built it, right?
Right.
People created those establishments that I'm enjoying now. So I get it, but I keep saying it's not a personal attack. It's not to say that nothing is happening. It's not to say that there's nothing to do. You're in a major city. You can't be in a major city and say there's nothing to do. Any major city for is not. You're not in the suburbs. You're not in Hickstown. You're not in some rural part of the world. Like, you can find something to do. But overall, it doesn't have that vibe. Houston, I mean, not Houston, Charlotte just doesn't. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't. I've been there enough. I'm not saying that it's terrible. I'm not saying that is horrible. But if someone says, "Yeah, I want to be going out every week and I want to be lit," especially as a black person, I will not tell them to go to Charlotte. No, I wouldn't. I would not. I want to go and see a classic vibe. I want to go out and like, it just doesn't have the establishments, and that's okay. Maybe 10 years from now we'll have it. I'm not waiting 10 years. But 10 years, I know where I want my life to be. But it's just interesting to me. Like I said, I don't know whether it's a political thing. I don't know whether it's because governments, laws, rules. But I would just expect, because it has such a high black population, for Charlotte to have more upscale black places.
Okay, this is another top point because yesterday I met someone on DoorDash and he was talking about like, oh, he feel like Charlotte has the people, but they don't have the right setup.
And that's the point I'm
He
making. I
said
didn't
the
say I don't
setup
have.
isn't there. He said that he was like, no, 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 let me correct you. The people are here, but he said there's not places for us to meet. We don't have enough meeting grounds. We don't have enough spaces that people want to meet at. But he's like, the people are definitely here because I was like, that's an interesting point, kind of alluding to what you're saying, alluding to what we've been talking about. So at the end of the day, nowhere is perfect, like we always say. You make the best of everywhere, and I definitely don't think that. But I wonder, in that article about top cities where Charlotte came number one, top city where Black Americans are moving to, I think that mostly is probably families. I personally think it's probably people with families because I definitely feel like Charlotte caters more to that demographic. Like I think it's probably a lot of people that have kids, and like that's not what we're worried about when you're millennial. Like when you're single, when you're young, you're not worried about families, right? I think that's a big proportion of people that come from the north or come from other places. Of course, millennials too, but I think a lot of families, they want to buy a house, and buying a house in these places are so expensive, and they can come down here and get a house maybe for 400,000 or 300,000, and they would never be able to afford a house in the area that they're at right now. So I think maybe that's a aspect of that article that video that didn't really elaborate on, but I still think that for a young person, a young millennial, I still think Charlotte's a great city. I still think it has a lot to offer. But again, it's about the vibe that you're looking for, right? I may say certain places are not my vibe, but that can be someone else's vibe. That could be what someone else likes to do. It may not be what I like to do. It's not what I enjoy. It's not really typically what I like, but that doesn't mean that the next person is not going to like that either, right? So I think that it's just like you said, it's a case by case basis, and I don't think that there's nothing. I think there's still so much more I haven't explored personally. Like I don't know much about Noda. I don't know much about Plaza Midwood. Like there's areas that like I hardly frequent. If I'm gonna be honest, most time when I'm going out in Charlotte, it's gonna be in Uptown or it's going to be in South End. Now South End is very young. South End gives me the vibe of the people who just finished UNC Charlotte, landed big jobs, and they moved out from college to a nice apartment in South End. Like South End gives me post college, like maybe 22 to 26 vibes. You know what I mean? Outside of the black owned places, because we mentioned how the crowd in the black owned establishments are definitely older. But outside of the black owned establishments, South End, whenever I go, I just feel like it's too young. And then Uptown, sometimes I don't know, like I wasn't here pre-pandemic. Obviously, I moved during the pandemic. But Uptown sometimes I'm just like it's too quiet. Like, why is it so quiet? Like, where is everyone? Even you go down and walk through Uptown like in the afternoon. And I think honestly, that's what made me move to Charlotte. What I loved about it, because I'll never forget me and my cousin visited in October of 2019, and we were in Uptown, and we're like, wow, this city is not bad. This is not too much, because we're used to the New York, the crowds, the too many people, the hustle, the bustle. And we came to Charlotte, and this was pre-pandemic, and we just liked the fact that like it was chill, like it wasn't too much, like it wasn't too much going on. But obviously, that's not what everybody wants. It is kind of weird for on a Saturday you walk down the major part of your city, and it's quiet. That's a bit strange to be your major city to be quiet at 2 p.m. on a Saturday or 2 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm just like, where is everyone? Like, why is Uptown always so quiet? I don't know if anyone can relate to this. Anyone joining from Charlotte, let us know in the comment section, because, we got to rep Charlotte, Nguzzi's Houston all day. I'm Charlotte all day. But I noticed that. So I think it's about the vibe you want. Do you want it to be busy, busy, busy? Are you looking for something more laid back? I was looking for something more laid back. I was looking for somewhere that wasn't too far away from New Jersey. I was looking for somewhere with better weather than New Jersey. I don't mind the heat. I could have went to Texas, but a lot of people don't go to Texas because they say it's too hot. And Guzzy can attest to that. You can see the sweat a little bit on her face. She can attest that.
Leave my eyebrows, my sweat.
You could attest that today was very hot over there. But that doesn't bother me. That's not the reason why I wouldn't move to Texas because of heat. Like heat doesn't bother me at all. Like I can be in the warm weather and I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem being in the heat. So that's something to keep in mind too for the people that want to move to Texas, that it gets very, 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 very hot. And I like the fact that Charlotte still gets hot, but it's not too bad. Like you still get winter, you can still wear boots, you get all the seasons that you would get in a place like New Jersey where I was coming from, but it wasn't too severe. Like it wasn't bad. It's not bad. It's kind of mild. I mean, it has gotten really cold sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you're from Boston. Troy Jones from. Are you thinking about moving from Boston? It's interesting because a couple of the girls I met on Sunday that we were talking about Charlotte together. They're from Boston, and they was talking about how Boston is very, very racist.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that.
Very, very racist. But for some reason, I mean, they're still there. Obviously, there's something that's keeping something that
easy just to up and move.
Yeah, we were trying to convince them, but we're like, what are you doing in Boston? Move to Charlotte. Oh my God, you like Charlotte so much better than Boston. But they were like, when I think of Boston, I just think of cold. Because I will never forget when we went there for that convention or something. We went to Harvard Business Convention, some African convention. And it was like in February. And I've never experienced that type of cold in my life.
The girl we were with was wearing
She was from Florida.
My life.
It was so cold that weekend. I was like, how do people live here? Like, I thought I was doing something in New Jersey, but Boston, oh my goodness, I don't know how. Like, it was really, 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 really cold. So yeah, so basically back to the title, I don't like going out in Charlotte, and this is why. So I think these are some of the reasons why a lot of people stay in. They go out, they're not getting the experience they want. They're not meeting the people they want to. They just try. A lot of people I know in Charlotte literally just travel when they want to have fun. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like why are you guys always away? But they're like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing to do here. I'm bored. Like I don't want to be bored on the weekends. I guess my life might be a little boring. Maybe I'm just too chill for people that want that rah rah rah. They're not getting it. Or even if they obviously there's clubs. Like clubs are popping up everywhere, but it's not about having the stuff. It's like we keep saying, it's the vibe you're looking for.
That's another factor we say. We say right now, if you talk about, especially as Black people, you would think, okay, if I want to be around Black people, let me go to the city with the highest Black population. That's not how it's done. It's not. We don't like to think of people in terms of quality because we're all God's children, but it's more than quantity. Like you can go to a place that is has that's 10% black, but they have a lot of things to do. They have really nice spots, and the black people are connected and they're integrated
Right,
and they
right.
hang out with each other. You can go somewhere that's 50% black, but maybe the black people aren't doing as well. There's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of things going on in our neighborhoods, and that's affecting us. And like, it's more than just looking at the numbers. And that's what I can say about Houston. I'm always gonna shout out my city is that like it's quality, it's quantity, and it's also quality. Like it's both, like you have it here. And like I said, with people that may go and travel, they want that. It's not necessarily probably they want that rah, but they're looking for a vibe, like you mentioned. And when they go out in Charlotte, they don't have that. They don't feel that. They don't get that. So they're willing to travel. I can't do all of that. At that point, I'm going to just go move to where I always want.
Right. I cannot
I'm
be
not
traveling
going to
every
be at
single
this
day.
age. I don't even like getting on planes anymore. I've passed that. I've passed that stage of my life. But for some people, it's worth it. They just go where they want to go on weekends. They're somewhere new every second. Another factor we don't I like to bring up why a lot of people don't go out like that. They also don't have friends. Even if you go to a new city, you go to a new place, only but so many people can go out by themselves. And even as someone who can confidently go out by themselves anywhere, I can go anywhere by myself. It's only but to an extent that you want to be doing that all the time. It
Right.
gets tiring.
Right.
It gets tiring. So a lot of people, they may not go out as much, not because necessarily where they are is black, but they don't have the people to experience the city with. So they travel to where they know people, right? They travel to where their friends are.
I
Their
was doing that before I for like
Yeah,
a
like I
long
know,
time.
like they travel and they'll think, oh, this place, because no matter how lit you think your places are, there's people in this Houston who are bored out their mind. There's people
Okay.
in Atlanta who are bored. People in Miami who are bored. You would say, oh, these lit cities is more than being in these lit cities. You have to have people to do stuff
We
with.
talked about that on Sunday.
You have to have community. If you don't have community, no matter where you are, it's going to be boring. That's just the reality. Of course, certain places will be a little better than others, but if anything, I can say the opposite is worse. Kind of not having community in a big city because you feel so lost.
You
You
feel alone.
feel more isolated. You feel more alone because it's so big and overwhelming. So I think that's something that a lot of people fail to consider or fail to mention. Is not that just where they are does not have the places, but they don't. They may have been a few places, but they don't have the people to experience it as much as they should before they can come to that conclusion. They maybe just go to one or two places. I don't like the vibe, and
Right.
they just make the categorical, assumption that yeah, this place is just boring or this place doesn't have things to do. When I say it all the time, we could talk about Jersey. I know people in Jersey who are having the time of their life every weekend. Even
Exactly.
now. Even
Exactly.
when I was deeper than New Jersey, and New Jersey
Right.
wasn't the best setup, but I didn't have friends there
You
anymore.
didn't go to Rutgers like
A
everyone
lot
else
of
did. You didn't
people,
go to
my
school in New
family,
Jersey.
people I was close to moved. I wasn't, I was done with school. People went back to their cities. I didn't have community. So that's why that was also a large factor why it was so easy for me to leave New Jersey. If I was in New Jersey and I had a group of friends, I don't think I
Mhm.
would have left.
Right.
I would have been there hanging out with my girls every weekend. I didn't have that. Post pandemic, relationships were very strained. Things became very different. People are used to everything virtual, and it impacted us in ways we will never even understand until years to come. So it's not to say even unless you're in the middle of freaking nowhere, like there's things to do everywhere.
And that's what we were talking about on
You go
Sunday.
to every
Charlotte is Houston
what
enough.
isn't it brunch, dinners, club, hookah? It's the same thing in all these cities.
All these cities, people doing the same thing.
Same thing. You just need people to do it with. But it's the
Right.
same thing. I've had friends tell me, "Oh, I moved here. I didn't. It's not even what I thought." But I look deeper. It's not that. It's not what you thought. You don't have friends. You don't have people to go out and do stuff with. It's gonna be boring. No matter where you are, you don't have friends. The July, I cannot. What I did in July, like when I thought about it, I said, God, I had to
Well,
stay.
if it was outside, we was
At
loving it.
first, I didn't leave my house. I was like, God, I just need to relax. July was a lot for me. It was. I can't. When I think back to how I was going out, the amount of people I saw in July, I'm just like 31 days. It was. It started from the first. Like
Mm.
literally, like it was just it was a really high energy, high turn up month for me. But it's like because I met a lot of people and I've developed relationships. If I didn't have those people, I wouldn't be going to the places. I wouldn't be invited to the birthday dinners and the club sections and the this and the that and the church event and the that event and this.
If
If
you
I
didn't
didn't
go to church alone, half of the social life would be
yeah,
gone.
I wouldn't know all these people. So the
Mhm.
reality is that if I last summer was a very different experience. We're not going to get into part of the reason why he may because he may be watching again. Get your part of the reasons why, but like last summer I was very chill. You know what I mean? I wasn't really trying to go out like that. I was in a relationship. Like I was very like this is to me, this is my first real summer in Houston. I say all the time. Last summer was like a teaser, it was
Like
fake.
a warm up.
I was traveling. That's another thing. You can't try and learn a city in every second you're traveling. It's annoying. It's very annoying. If you want to really move somewhere to get the experience, move there 6 months, don't go anywhere.
Mm.
9 months, don't go anywhere. Even a year, challenge yourself. You could do a year, that's fantastic. But I know it's hard because you got to go back see
Even
family.
6 months is hard
6 months. If you move to a new city,
because you get homesick. That's when you go back to
you
your
move. I'm
respective
telling anyone
homes.
watching, you move to a new city. 6 months, don't leave that city. Learn it, make friends, integrate, make mistakes, lose your way on the highway, learn it. Like really sit there and explore because it comes to a point after that phase where you're not as interested anymore and you get used to always traveling and running away, you lose that time where you could have learned and it's like the interest isn't there anymore.
Right.
And you just get used to the running away, going to this city, going traveling, going on this vacation. It's 106 degrees in Houston. Why am I traveling? To go where? And
Mm.
I'm hot. Like I just need to go by the pool, or this weekend I'm gonna go to the beach. Like there's things to do. Like why am I don't get it. I understand people traveling in summer because they have PTO,
No,
but being where I am, I don't understand why I would go right now and go to
because
Mexico.
you don't have friends. You
I
gotta
don't
travel
get
to
it.
places where your friend and it's so funny what you're saying because it mimics my exact experience of Charlotte, North Carolina. I moved here August 2020, so almost 3 years. I remember filming exactly the video. I remember filming a video January of 2021. I believe that was it my 12 month? I believe it was my 12-month or 18-month update. I can't remember where I said I was done with Charlotte. I want to move to Dallas. I'm thinking of moving to Dallas. Literally in that video, when I look back at that video, I just started laughing because I was talking rubbish. I don't know what I was talking about. But why I was talking like that? All I did was go to work from 8 to 5. I came
You say you
home.
want to move to Dallas. Hi.
Yes. Yes. In the video, I remember saying I wanted to move to Dallas. It was either my 12-month or 18-month. I'm actually going to go and watch it after this. I was so done with Charlotte. But at that time, guess what? I wasn't going to church. I would go to work 8 to 5 and come home. And then I would just travel all the time and see. I had no social life. I had absolutely no social life. I didn't do anything. I didn't have friends. I didn't go out really. Only time I would go out in Charlotte is when someone was coming to visit me. So that's when I would go out with the person who was coming to visit me. But besides that, I didn't do anything. And I wasn't liking my experience. But fast forward a year and a half later, like,
Pay her to leave that
where am
Charlotte.
I going? Like, it has its issues, but where am I going? I'm not going nowhere. Like, we here, like, for now, this is where I'm staying. But what changed in that 1 to 2 years was I started meeting people. I started going out. I started getting involved. I started getting out my comfort zone. I started even last week for the first time. I'm in a book club that I found through Meetup. Last Thursday is my first in person. They've been doing in person almost a year. Why was last week my first in person? I just got used to virtual. Same thing with church. It took me so long to go to church in person. Started getting nervous. With COVID, you kind of got scared. You felt like, oh, I don't want to go out anywhere if I don't have to. Oh, hey, Duke, watching from Charlotte. Nice to meet you. And I realized that my life was really just going to work and that's it. And mind you, I'm going to work. I'm not working with I don't have any young coworkers. I don't have people around my age that maybe, because I definitely believe that work is a good place to meet people. But I didn't have those type of people around me. I was working in a clinic setting, so my patients weren't really young. My coworkers, I was the youngest one. I'll go to work, come home, go to work, come home. Why would I like my city? Even if I was in Atlanta doing that, I'll still be bored. Even if I was in Miami doing that, I'll still be bored. Even if I was in LA doing that, I would still be bored. So it comes to a point that, like, yes, I get it. Charlotte has issues with infrastructure, good places, diversity, racism. I'm not going to discount that. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are so busy blaming their city, but you're the issue.
I know. Thank you.
A lot of people get too stuck on blaming. So it's like same thing. Like you ever met people that they are always the issue at every new job. They're always the issue. Every church they go to, they have a problem. They're the issue. Every friendship, it can't last. They're the issue everywhere they go. But they'll always blame the other people. Oh, these churches are quack. They just want money. Oh, the people at my job are too sensitive. Oh, these friends, women, they're too much drama. Like, how are you going to keep having
Accountability.
the same issues in all aspects of your life, but you don't seem to realize that you are the common denominator? You are looking for someone to blame for everything. Like, come on, it can't be everyone is against you. It can't be every job was bad. Every manager is terrible. Every coworker is a hater. Every friend wants your life. Come on, you're not. You God, come on, it can't be that bad. Atlanta, okay, ATL stand up.
Stand up.
I feel like sometimes like a lot of people do the whole city thing. Oh, I'm gonna hop here, then I'm gonna hop here, then I'm gonna go here, and then you keep having the same issues, even though you're hopping around. Like no matter where you go, you have to put in effort. You have to try and make it.
I don't. People think everyone should not hop on this moving to a different place bandwagon. It's not for everyone.
Mm-mm.
If you know, I said again, I can't. I said all the time. I keep saying, if I'm going to move somewhere, most likely it's going to be back to New Jersey. I can't learn another city.
No, but you said Charlotte, you won't have to learn
I
it.
would say Charlotte, but at the same time, I'm not licensed. There's a lot of things I have to consider with Charlotte. Charlotte's expensive. New Jersey's expensive too, but I don't want to go and find a new hairstylist.
Right. I think about those things
I
now.
don't want to go in like a legit, like I can't do it. It's not for everyone. If you have an okay social, if you're okay, don't take moving out of your head. Just
Monday, I
manage.
was talking to guys. I was
Stay
talking
where
to
you are. It's not. Don't think. Don't everyone. Don't try and be cute and think they have to all go relocate. It's not for everyone.
One of them said, Nnena, but I see you in Dallas. I could see you being a Dallas babe. I said, but I don't have a problem with Charlotte. Why am I going to Dallas? I don't have it. You get it's different if I hated Charlotte, but why am I going to uproot myself now and start learning another city when I'm actually okay in the city I'm in? It just doesn't make sense. Hi, Miss Mermaid. You're late, but I'm here. Okay. Why were you late? Is it that you saw it late, or do you feel like this time was too early? Because I was thinking 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Guzzy thinks 8 p.m. Eastern Standard is better. So I don't know. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Which one is better, 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Nothing worse than a person who has no accountability. Yes, always looking for someone or something to blame for the current situation. Miss Mermaid said, yes, just travel. Don't move as a solution. Yeah, that makes sense.
You may not be crazy about the place you are. You're okay with it. You know, just travel every now and then, see new places, but you're not like miserable where you are. Why go through moving is not the money alone. The money I spent last year, it's not easy. I know why people stay where they're from, where they know.
Another state. Like, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, trust me, don't let anybody peer pressure you into making such a big life decision. Nah, you got to be really mentally, financially, emotionally ready.
I saw it late. Okay, yeah, next time we'll put up earlier. My work schedule just changed. I've been watching the replays, but I need to turn on the reminders. Yes, everyone in here, turn on your reminders.
And so when you go live, you will get an alert on your phone
Exactly.
telling you we are live because you're about to start going live allegedly. So make sure your notifications are on.
Okay, my work schedule changed too. That's why I'm able to do lives in the week now because the weekend is just too hectic. It's summertime. We outside. Like, who wants to like have to run home to do a live and then people are out? It's just I feel like we just decided weekdays just makes more sense because most people are not going out during the week. Even if it's summer, it's still a weekday. People have work, so
yeah, we just maybe like a happy hour after work or something.
Right. So by the evening they'll be home, but weekends is kind of tricky. And then if you travel, then you can't go live because you're coming back from where you traveled from. So we just decided it's going to be either Mondays or Wednesdays. We're going to be going live. We haven't really like picked the exact day, but we feel like those are the two best days where there is not much going on. Especially Monday, because most places in Charlotte are closed on Mondays. So we'll be forced to come on our lives because there's nothing else to do. So does anyone have any questions about anything or any comments concerning what we've been discussing? Because I just think I just wanted to continue conversation because it's just been coming up and I realized that a lot of people actually feel the way Ngozi felt in our last video. A lot of people are complaining. A lot of people want to move. They feel like this place isn't for me. But at the same time, even if you do you know how many people move from Dallas to Charlotte? Like, so interesting. That's like, it always seems like somewhere else is better, but those places, people are leaving them as well.
Dallas is dry.
You really think so?
Dallas is calm. It reminds you of Charlotte. It's calm.
Charlotte.
It's just way bigger.
Do you guys feel like Charlotte will eventually become like Atlanta, Houston, or DC in the future? I think probably maybe Atlanta, just because it's the proximity. I think it's possible probably become like a mini Atlanta. You don't think so? No, Miss Mermaid said, Duke, it won't. They are just building housing and no real sticking reason to stay. So I think Charlotte has a
like a whole revamp, a whole like plan, like it just because of like what? Because people are moving there. Like it would be more.
And then talk, like, the video we made was based on it being the top city where Black Americans are moving to. So that's really what Atlanta is basically, right? Atlanta is like a Black Mecca, a place that a lot of Black people move to. So if a lot of Black people are moving to Charlotte, eventually Charlotte's going to have to change their infrastructure and change things to accommodate Black people, like you've been saying. So I definitely see that. And then it has a proximity to Atlanta that a lot of people still be like, oh yeah, it's not that far. I can still drive there. Like I can still go to Atlanta on the weekends, So a lot of people that maybe want to get away from all of that rowdiness and noise and all of that stuff, I feel like a lot of them would like to live in a place like Charlotte that's more calm. And when they want to have fun, just go to Atlanta. I definitely could see Charlotte being the next Atlanta in like 10, 20 years. I definitely can see it. I definitely can see it. Yeah. Anything else? And more people are joining. Don't forget to like.
You're in Charlotte. So what's I know you commented recently. I can't recall what the comment is about, but how do you feel about Charlotte? Another thing I would say I noticed, we don't want to go in this direction, but I feel like every time we go out in Charlotte, I don't really see men. Like it came to a point we were going out, and I feel like I'm always seeing women. I don't know whether based
on that's facts. That's a proper assessment. When if a man moved to Charlotte, other men moved to Charlotte.
I was there I've been there 8 times. So I literally noticed even when we go out, it's just women everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like women. Like I'm just like, do men not live in Charlotte? Like what's going on? Particularly Black men. Like is it where we're going? Is it the little areas? In their house, you know what I mean? Like because
think about it, guys. You got to understand that at our point of our life, we're trying to get away from the club scene, right? That's a big factor, and I think that the club is just where a lot of men go. That's just the truth. Even though we want to get away from the club scene, a lot of men are in the club. They're at cigar bars, they're at sporting events, they're at the gym, and these are a lot of places that women don't go to. If you go to cigar lounge, there's not going to be a lot of women.
I was at one on Friday, actually. For the
really?
First time in Houston, it was chill. Just that all those stuff in your lungs.
Yeah, or come on, we're going to Crave. Crave is a dessert bar. Like it's a dessert.
You don't like dessert?
No, like most men, if they're there, you notice they're with a chick, they're with a girl. Like that dessert bars were like, girls, let's go there together. Like like a lot of girls are going there to catch up and see friends and like eat dessert and eat cupcakes. Like you don't expect a bunch of men to be at a dessert bar.
It's also fight nights and stuff, or events happening at bars. Like, do they get packed?
Yeah, there's a fight night last Saturday. I didn't go out; I was home. But I heard, there's a fight. So a lot of guys go out. A lot of people go out because they don't have pay-per-view. You can't watch it on. You have to buy those fights. So a lot of people go out to watch it. So definitely, like, I don't really do I'm trying to get away from all the clubs and like the bars. But it seems as if that's where men are. You get what I'm saying? The clubs and the bars. So it's just it kind of gets
just for men, but I'm just saying that's my observation as well with Charlotte. Just going out is like, I'd be like, it's just too many women. Like it's a lot. But yeah, I think that I don't know. Like the point I try to make about catering to Black people is that cities have a culture. Right. Mm-hmm. So like every city has their culture. We talk about Atlanta, people know the culture there. Miami, people know the culture there. Right. Houston, people know the culture there. In New York City, people know the culture there. I just feel as if Charlotte's culture, like what is culture there? Like they're just not, I don't know if they're just adapting too slowly or they're not moving with the times or they don't have, maybe the mayor, somebody
stop it.
I just feel as if like based on like Charlotte has a lot of potential. I'm not saying they don't have it. They just don't have the infrastructure. They don't have it. Like, and it's like I said, maybe it could take just making one normal spot, and then you start having 2 DJs at night, one calm DJ, one R&B, Afrobeats, whatever.
Right.
Spot that people just start coming to, because like there's things. The point I'm trying to make is that it's marketing, it's advertising. There's things you do to pull in people. There's things you do to pull out people. Barbie, that movie did what? Highest box office this year. This is is marketing. Right. They made it a culture thing. Nicki Minaj has a song that came out. Everyone's using it on Instagram. Like it's like you have to.
Low key, I think Charlotte is doing it, but it's just happening slow, right? So we noticed even like one time with Imperial had like an Afrobeat DJ, and like that's gonna bring a lot of different people out. Or even when there wasn't Afrobeat DJ, we were there on a Saturday. They play like they have the passport segment. Who got their passport? Who got their passport? And they play like 3 Afrobeat songs, and we laugh at it because like, oh, this is a joke, but that's still a step in the right direction, right? That's still different. You can tell.
What I'm making too is that the reason you're making the point that you have to cater to your crowd. Summer
Mhm.
like Imperial can't go and play Afrobeats all night because that's not their crowd.
Right.
People are gonna sit down, for example. But like being that we're in somewhere like Houston, because we have such a large African population, that even the Americans know all the African songs
Right.
because they go out to the club and they're used to hearing that.
The culture has
The
been
culture
integrated.
has adjusted to that, and now that is like mainstream for us here. So like you said, it's because of the, it's like the chicken or the egg, and it's going to take time, but eventually if they keep playing that music, people will have to learn it, who go to those spots, and they'll start enjoying it because
Right.
the music will become normal for them. But it's like when we're in temple and you go to some of the parties, and they some people didn't like going to certain parties because they play too much reggae. They don't listen to reggae. They
Right.
grew up listening to reggae. They're not from that type. They're not from Brooklyn. They grew up listening to their American music or like their local music in their city, wherever they're from.
Right.
So it is a process, but that's the point I make about Charlotte in terms of the culture. That is very different. It's very different.
Very American. And we made a mistake in our last video. We talked about, I said it's very a black man, and we said it's very white. No, Charlotte is very American. It's a very American city. It doesn't have that much culture. I think that's what Charlotte is lacking. Charlotte is lacking like diversity in
They
culture.
have culture. They just have American culture.
Right. It's just very American, right? So if you're someone, I don't think a lot of people necessarily feel the way that I feel or some of my friends feel. You get what I'm saying? Because they're looking for something they were getting in Houston or DMV or Atlanta or New Jersey or New York. You can't come to Charlotte looking for that. Duke said, I think Charlotte is more of a family city, and most of the guys are in relationships, in my opinion.
That might be it, dude. That's why they in their house. That's why we don't see them when we go out. I can see that for sure.
LO, I can see what you mean, men. Here you have to catch them in their social circle, kickbacks, such casual gatherings, or random places like the grocery store. They don't go out in big groups like other cities. Salt and culture. If we can be real, the men here do not have enough disposable income at all. Men go out only when they're on a date. Men, they go to clubs, they go with like 20 people splitting for a section. Oh my gosh, salt and culture, easy, it's just Wednesday. There's also a horrible obsession with 90s R&B music in our black spaces. Oh my gosh, yes. So I only look for Afrobeats because 90s R&B 24/7. Like what happened to 2023 music at the very least? LOL. You know why is 90s R&B? Because the people are 40 and 50. That's why they're playing that music. It's the age.
They crowd.
Talked about that. The black-owned spaces in Charlotte, the crowd is much older. They're not in the 20s and 30s, they're the 40s and 50s. So they're playing the music that those people want to listen to. They don't want to hear
Angie girl. Lord.
Yeah, because they're older crowd. That's why you're hearing 90s R&B. She's Miss Brenda said, LMAO easy, all right. It's Wednesday. We don't want to get people in trouble. Any men in Charlotte on this live, come and defend yourself because we
And
a lot
Charlotte.
of relationships, y'all don't go out, y'all at the grocery store, and then y'all go to the section and split it with 20 people. Is this true? Is it true? No disposable income. Is this why the men are not going out versus the women have more disposable
Cost
income?
of living is going up. Everyone got less. The way it's going, you just got to get out that club. That's the problem. Just stay home.
Yeah, Todd, they don't go to the grocery store alone, LOL. They go with their girls too, or they look fat because they cannot afford to. Oh my God. Miss Mermaid said, and two-stepping for sure. Song culture in that 19-year-olds are bopping to 90s R&B. Yo, it shocked me. Where are you talking? Can you list some places that you're talking about? Because what? I know that I know for a fact Stats is not playing no 90s R&B except for Wednesday night. You know they do the live music.
Playing 60 right
Nah, the Stats is not playing no 90s R&B, okay? I can
now.
say for sure. You got to stop with this Pound Town. Maybe you might hear a little, definitely you're going to hear it at Sports One. Definitely. You might hear a little bit at 1501, but they'll mix up. 1501 is doing a good job. They'll mix up. They'll play a little bit of reggae, even some Afro beats, some regular rap. Imperial, I don't know about you here 90s R&B, unless I know Monday they have an R&B night. I've never been, but Imperial playing rap, okay? They playing rap, like Lucky If You Buck rap. So I really want to know the place that you're going to. They look far, sorry, not fat. Okay, so let me reread that because that was a typo. She said, Todd, they don't go to the grocery store alone. They go with their girls too, or they look far because they cannot afford to. Oh gosh. Miss Mermaid Duke said, I think I'm the only guy in this chat. I'm from Detroit, been down here 2 years. I'm single and most of my guy friends are in relationships. Okay, how old are you, Duke, if you don't mind?
You about to do matchmaking?
There's always been a wealth gap in Charlotte with black people, so people are on the extreme ends of culture and economics.
That's it. People don't
Hmm.
want to hit it, but that's a major point. The point I can say, I'm gonna keep bringing Houston in. That's my city. That's where I am. Is that
Oh.
a lot of issues, of course. But what I can notice is that the black people here, for the most part, are doing okay compared to a lot of other major cities. So that's why you're able to go out and see a lot of black people out at certain spots. Because the reality it comes down to economics. If people are not doing well, why how you expect them to go and take money to pay the park, to enter, to come down and eat? All this stuff is money. Going out is not free. It's not. Y'all may and women's may go around and stand around, whatever, but especially men can't move the way we move.
Right.
Going
They'll
out
just
is
stay, if
money.
they don't have money, they'll stay
They're
home.
staying in their house. It's
Right.
expensive.
Right. Lois Lane. I've been wanting to move to Charlotte for years, but when I realized that black people don't have a strong culture, it gives me pause. Okay, Lois, where are you living right now? Song culture. Imperial, they play 90s R&B and they will be singing like it's praise and worship. Let me shower up. I love how, nah, I don't know. We need to go out together, obviously, because I don't know where you're going. Imperial at I've been there I've been there 4 times. So once on a Sunday, 3 times on a Saturday. I don't hear 90s R&B at Imperial. I've never been at night though. I go to the day stuff because I'm aging. I can't keep up. I can't always be staying up till 2, 3 a.m. So maybe that's part of it because I'm going during the day. It's a different vibe. Like the day party vibe, the younger crowd, maybe. I don't know. But I've never really heard 90s R&B at Imperial. Makes sense, Miss Mermaid. Yeah, she made a really good point. I have one single guy friend. He always tells me that I have a leg up because Charlotte men don't, for the majority, are lacking financially. Interesting. So we think finance is part. I never.
Yes.
Duke said I'm 36. Oh wow, 36. Any children? Miss
Nana.
Miss Murray says so. They are really either really cultured or really not, and either got it or really don't. So we're talking about extreme ends of the spectrum. Hmm. Sandra said, I've only done the day parties there on Saturday. Interesting. You heard 90s R&B. Interesting.
He wasn't
But
playing
yeah,
R&B when we were there.
I don't think so. I feel like it's like
They're playing rap and they're playing also R&B. It may not be 90s, but they're also playing or maybe 2000s. But like they're mixing it between rap and like old school like hip hop.
what I can say though about Imperial though, I feel like the crowd is pretty young. Like the
That's why
crowd.
I told you that the crowd, those boys like they're like 24. Like everyone did, all the little guys that were acting wild, it looked like they're all in their 20s. And the crowd looks super young. I was just like, this is interesting.
Duke said yes, 2 daughters. Okay. So that's interesting to know. So we're talking about the culture, we're talking about the infrastructure, we've talked about finances being part of it. That a lot of men are not going out because they don't have the money. Miss Mermaid said LMAO, yes, very much 24. Yeah, Imperial's crowd is pretty young. What is today's live about? Just join. Hi. Am I saying right? Evie, we're talking about the social life, the social scene in Charlotte, North Carolina, pertaining specifically to people of color and why a lot of people are leaving or why they don't go out. Or I hear a lot of complaints about Charlotte's social life, and a lot of people just have given up on trying to go out and do stuff because they keep going out and they're not getting the experience that they want. Do men in Houston have money?
Yeah, but another question is how they get in it. But yeah, overall, I just feel like there's a lot of money in Houston. I won't lie. There's money here. I don't know if it's men or women or if it's that, but the culture is different here for sure. Like for example, we went out of the club Saturday night when we were there. It just Houston would do something too because the culture here is so different. So Nnena always talk about how they go to the club and there could be nights when no one pops ace of spades. And to me, it's like weird because it's like based on where I'm coming from. Like if you go to the club on a normal, like that's normal. Like to go a night and not even one ace of spades pop. Like the culture there is just different. You know what I mean? Like it's not,
People can't work hard for their money.
Houston is a big city. You know what I mean? Like people are
Say
doing.
it with your chest. A lot of scammers are in Houston.
Nah, not even
That's why they're popping ace
necessarily.
of spades. And
It's
some
both.
owners
It's
too.
both. And yeah, also too, the culture is. I, It's
said,
both.
thanks for the breakdown, love. Then she said, "Where in Houston? I hope not O2." You know she's talking about O2. Thank you. You know what she's talking about with all the swipers that be in there, all the swipers. Like, come on, that's not real. Who is going out?
No, but I'm saying I know
Who
legit
works hard for
people.
their money? Because even a
No, no, no,
black
you
even
can't make
people
that
that have money.
assumption. Yes, they're also there, but I'm telling you, it's also the culture. There's people who work hard for their money, and that's what they enjoy doing, popping bottles on weekends.
Yeah, it's a party city. It's a
That's their
party
social
city.
life.
Right.
Yes, that's their culture. Yes, that's what they do for fun. The culture is different there. Same way you go to Miami, you're gonna tell me everyone in Miami is doing no, but the culture, the nightlife there is different. Charlotte's just not that. It's not there. They don't have that nightlife. Houston has a large nightlife. So if you go to any city that has big nightlife, that's common. Like it's not a big deal, you know. But yeah, not for her calling out that specific club.
No, culture. This is absolutely not the place to look for a relationship for certain women. The girls here are very ambitious. The men, baby boys, are just not buoyant, which is okay, of course, just bad market. Interesting. I never thought of that. LMAO, not the swipers and spenders. Song culture said, if you are selective in any way, please know that Houston is better. You cannot expect a vibrant such colorful dating life in Charlotte. Except you have little to no expectations. If anything, Charlotte being calm and chill, shouldn't it make it better to settle
No,
down?
but you don't even see them. You don't even see the people today. You're not even seeing them. You go out, you're seeing women. So where are you gonna meet these men today if you don't even go out and see them? I get it. Nowhere is perfect. This big cities come with their own issue. The
Like
swipers, the
Houston
spenders,
and marry men.
yes, and double life. So trust me, I can sit here and if I sit here and do a live 1 million views, I know what to talk about. I can if I sit here and tell my story. But the point I'm making is that even with all that being said, I still think it's a better
In fact,
chance.
if I lived in Atlanta, I don't think necessarily I'd be married, but I would date more.
Yeah,
Period.
like you see
Like
more
when I go
people.
to Atlanta, period. Like I went to Atlanta a couple weeks ago, literally just in five going to Pasha, like in 30 minutes, like three guys came up to me. Like
Mm,
literally, like in Charlotte, that doesn't happen.
it's like being in Nigeria.
Right.
It's like a glimpse. Not even it's not even 50%, but it's like a little glimpse of how men move in Nigeria. Like it's different. Like the people.
I was really about to bring this up. I feel like a city like Charlotte is probably where online dating would be more favorable because I feel like there's a lot of reasonable men who are just home and that don't go out. It's not a city to really focus on meeting men by jumping up and down or meeting quality men. I think it's a city that has a lot of low key good guys who are just working hard and sitting in their house. I really think Charlotte's that type of city. So Miss Murphy said, LOL, yes, that's song culture. That is a point. This is not a city for that for sure. Apps might have to help sort through the weeds. I really feel like Charlotte is a city where online dating might really, really work well. Song culture, of course, it's good to settle down because there is no life, LOL. So you must calm down and settle when you have no choice now, right?
What's distracting you in Charlotte? Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not that type of city. Like it's not like legit. I know people who have left Houston and went to Dallas. It's too distracting. I get it. I understand. Like this city, especially for men. Hey, yeah. I agree 100%.
Houston, Atlanta, where do you think is more Houston, Atlanta? Where do you think is more of a party city?
Atlanta.
Atlanta more than Houston.
Yeah, I think so. A little bit. They're similar. They're pretty similar.
She said, "You two ladies are funny. I've never been to Charlotte, but for Houston, I think it can be easy to spoil your market, especially if you don't do a proper vet on the men out there. Thank you, thank
Mm.
you. Especially as a newbie, I tell everyone, you're a new girl in the city.
Questions.
Ask
Ask
questions. Be
questions.
careful. Don't be naive. Double think, triple think. I know, especially in certain small communities where this is what happens with people. They just get put in a rotation. You have to be very careful. And I know one of my guy friends says, Nnena, you're too cautious. You're so careful. You think too much. Like, yeah, because you're a guy. You can talk to 5 of my friends, and 10 of the girls that know my friends will still want you. It works differently. The culture I come from is a very biased culture, okay? Men can jump up and down and sow their royal oats and be with a different girl every day of the week. And those men will still be looking for a girl who's almost a virgin. But you as a girl, they know if one person you dealt with, it's the end of the world. You're spoiled goods. You get what I'm saying? So like, especially the culture that we coming from, it makes it very, very hard to just be free and go with the flow and enjoy and just have
Men talk too
fun.
much.
These men,
Men
hey,
talk more than women. I don't know, Duke, if you will confirm it. Men try to act like women. No, men talk.
nothing to do. These African men talk too much, and especially the worst thing is an African man that's mad that you didn't give him a chance. That's even the worst. You'll start hearing stories you don't even know. You don't even you don't even, you don't. You're like, where? What are you talking about? This doesn't even make sense. But they're mad because you wouldn't let them get their way and they start making stuff up. So especially you gotta vet these men out here, especially the that very flashy ones, the ones that are all over the place. Stay away from those
Even
ones.
the ones who are not flashy. Period. A lot of these men,
Yes,
they
but I'm telling you, better the one I'd rather deal with a guy, even if they're both clowns. Let me deal with the clown who stays in his house that no one knows. That clown is better, not the clown that's up and down
I
all over the
honestly
place.
think it's better for me to have the clown that's all out there because I know and I see that and I know and I make the decision to deal with him. But but the one who's pretending or the one who's giving off this false impression and it's still just as bad, I feel as if like it's like let me know you're bad up front. Like let me know. Let me like I just feel like I don't know. Yeah, you just have to just it's called discernment. That's what it's called.
Mhm.
You gotta pray for discernment
And
when it
trust
comes
your gut.
to
As Black people in our age group in NC and in the South, trust it is small, very small. I like the fact that Charlotte's close to Atlanta. If I want the vibe and retreat back to the peace of mind of Charlotte, yeah, I like that too. Even though I wish Atlanta was closer. Real talk, Atlanta people say it's close, but I'm not a driver. A lot of people down south drive like it's nothing. I really wish Atlanta was like where Raleigh was. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe like 2 hours away, but that 4 hours is not like a weekend trip, really. To me, I feel like I need more than a weekend, but that's just me. But it's doable. I can go Friday night, come back Sunday evening. Even I went the last time Saturday, came back Sunday. I know people that go to Atlanta just to shop and come back. That's pretty wild, because we don't have Zara. Relationship is always by God's grace, wherever you go, lol. But a rich love life, mba. You cannot enjoy a rich dating life here. Wow. So, Coach, you've been through a lot. How old are you, if you don't mind? Men absolutely are chatty. Lewis, how does the summer weather in Charlotte compare versus Houston? I can't do with Texas heat anymore. I'm cooking here. It doesn't get too bad in Charlotte. It definitely gets hot like this week. Let me look on my app. I can show you Charlotte's current weather. Right now it's cloudy, 79. Tomorrow the high is 76, kind of cold, low 69. Friday the high is 82, low 69. Saturday 90, Sunday 91. Like it's very bearable. It's very bearable. It's not like all this.
101. It's like hundreds, hitting hundreds the next few days. It's hot here. I won't even lie. But for me, I don't really go outside. Like I'm not. I work from home. I'm not outside. I don't work outside, so it doesn't really bother me. But I know I won't lie. It gets hot down here for sure.
Song coach said, vet for character, or some African men will carry out high level smear campaigns. LOL. It's so wild. Just live your life. Vet like crazy and leave the rest to the universe to sort. Because for real, like I'm not gonna live my life paranoid, but at the same time, I just be cautious. And some guys don't understand, like, oh, why are you thinking some why? No, because I'm a woman. I know how this works. Like I have to be cautious. Don't forget, please like the video. She said, not been through a lot, just very observant. Okay, that's interesting. At the end of the day, people are people. We're all human beings. We make mistakes. You live and you learn. You can't beat yourself up about it. But I don't think this issue that we're talking about is just specific to Charlotte. I say that all the time. I think especially in major cities, I think a lot of people have issues with relationships and dating because there's too many distractions. There's too much to do. There's too much
The illusion of options.
the illusion. Thank you. The illusion of options people have. You might meet a reasonable guy, but you say, hmm, he's nice, but what if the one I meet next weekend will be better? Do you get what I'm saying? It's almost men and women do it too. People like to think that it's only men who think like that. As a woman, we think like that too sometimes. You meet a guy who's reasonable, he's decent.
Okay, but how about if I go to a wedding next weekend and find someone better? How about if I meet? Yeah.
What this illusion of option, especially if you're in a major city, people go out a lot, there's so much to do. You might think, oh, I can meet someone better than this person. And sometimes, honestly, I think in life we take each other for granted. We think we take a lot of things, a lot of people for granted, and it's quite unfortunate. Song culture, very on point, can't be naive, right? Very correct. Sometimes you got to ghost African men just so you don't have them messing with them on your name. It's that serious. Facts. But the good ones are very sweet, of course. Charlotte weather is incredible to me. Yeah, I like Charlotte's weather. Oh, I love that. So much illusion of options. That's the problem with with millennial generation. People think there's something better out there. I guess we can keep looking. Oh, we definitely think like that. LOL. Little Ernest. Charlotte is a smaller version of Atlanta. Atlanta is a city specifically for single people. Interesting. But women do that when there are red flags. What women do
When
we
we
never
think
know
about
anything
it,
better.
yeah, because you
I
probably
get what you're saying, but I feel like a man will have a woman who has like, everything they need and still be thinking of something better.
But also on top of all of the things we're saying about the struggles, like I mentioned in the last video, I still won't take away the fact that mindset is very important. If you go in the world saying that there's no man, you won't find men. If you go on the road saying that this is trash, it will be trash. I talk about when I first moved to Houston during a Facebook group. Oh my gosh, it was so toxic.
So
Everyone's
negative, right?
Houston is terrible. No one dates in this city. All the men are married. Trust me, I've had my own experiences though. So I'm not saying that there wasn't any truth to it. But at the same time, same way people say, "Oh, Atlanta, there's no men. Half of them are this and that and that." People are getting married in Atlanta every weekend.
Right.
You can't say it's, of course there are places where maybe you have a better chance, but it comes down to you also what you choose to do as an individual to put yourself in the best situation to win.
Bam.
No matter where you are, there's no city I could tell you right now, okay, you go there, you're gonna be in a relationship in 3 weeks. Or you go there, you're gonna find a man. It's also you, what you choose to do as a person, how you move, the effort you put in, how you socialize with people, how you network. You know what I mean? Do you go out? Are you approachable? Are you friendly? You know what I mean? There's so many facts. Are you positive? Are you negative? Are you smile?
Are you looking nice when you go out?
Right. Like, are you well put together? Like, there's so many things that contribute to this stuff. There's no perfect place. Trust me, there are places. Like, my cousin even talked about how she was at work. She lives in Cali. And she was talking to one of her coworkers, something. He was saying, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, you need to go like to Texas, like Houston or something. And I don't want to lie, like, but then there's girls in Houston that will cry and tell you Houston is the worst. Like,
Right.
when people are telling you, oh, go to this place because there's more. You know what I mean? There's more options. I do believe certain cities are set up. Like, for example, Houston's a very social city. There's
Mhm.
always something going. I go on an event, right?
You're gonna meet more people easy.
So easy. I went out a couple Fridays ago. I met some like really cool guys. It was not even on that like, oh, they're trying to get with me or anything. They legit came to the event because they were trying to network as well. Like, you can go out and there's so many. It's easy to meet people. Like, people are always out. So I won't say that certain place, like I said, is the culture, right? Charlotte culture doesn't enable certain things. Houston has the culture of let's go out, let's hang out. You out every day. Like, it's very easy to meet people socially. But at the same time, you have to make that effort to go out, right? You have to
Right.
make the effort to find those events. You have to make the effort to, when you go out, talk to people. Some they invited me to their little section. I could have been like, oh no, I'm not going to sit over there and just walked and left. And my experience would have been so different that Friday. You know what I mean? So it's like it's also you. We talk about accountability. No matter where you are, you have to be accountable as well. You have to be accountable for how you're moving and why you're getting the outcomes that you're getting. And like I
Listen, no, sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
But like I said, I do believe some places are better. I won't. All places are not equal. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh no, everywhere is the same," because it's not.
But Charlotte's not terrible.
Yeah, everywhere is. But I do. I can say when I go out, I don't see men in Charlotte. I keep saying that I don't see them, so I don't know where they. Duke said, they in relationships or they in their house is one of them because it's like it's an all woman city. Like when you go out, minus club, of course. But I just, you just have to be positive, and you just have to really just, do your work, leave the rest to God. Don't stress about it. Like, it is what it is.
Miss Murray said, right, no perfect city for sure at all. Like the stream, people. Yes, everyone, please
Like,
like.
like this video.
Are there any good networking events you all go to? Like, I say, it's supposed to be church, like church events, etc., for young Black professionals in the show. Okay, so the only thing I personally know of, I've been to one of, is a Nurse Monthly Mingle, and he does like monthly events. I went to Mixer and Plaza Midwood at the Warmack. I believe it was in January or February, and it was cool. And that's been going on for a while. Sometimes it's at 1501. They did one at a Roof Novelty House. I went to one at Novelty House, and then it was okay. Which, again, I think that's a lot of women. Then after we went to Imperial, that's where all the men was at. But yeah, like there's, I just know the Nurse Monthly Mingle, network events. That's true. I think that's the issue. I don't really know of many networking events. Like, I'll be so jealous of Ngozi. Like, Ngozi would send me emails as like Black Health Connect, UIU, like so many different groups in Houston. They're always having events. In Charlotte, we don't have that. Like, we have a UIU. Anyway, that's like an Igbo association for like Nigerian youths, and they just made a chapter for all of North Carolina, but it's not specific to Charlotte. Charlotte used to have a chapter, but I heard it closed down due to many reasons. But they just had an event on Sunday, like a barbecue. It's 2 hours away. Like, I'm not going to that. Like, they'll have stuff, but it's for all of the Carolinas. But I am going to make an effort to like go to something that's not necessarily in Charlotte, because it'd be a nice way to meet people like in Raleigh and other parts of North Carolina. It doesn't have to be Charlotte, but I didn't have the energy for that this past Sunday. Yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for. Tech. Okay, she said you have like tech events. I don't know of any tech events in Charlotte, like in person. I don't know of. Song culture. For that, your best bet is going via the companies. There aren't a lot of Black focused events like that. They are independently organized. Okay, she said, thank you. I see. Yeah, I think there's, I went to this. So, what I really liked, I went to by myself last month in June. I actually met a couple of subscribers. There's, I don't know the name. Goodness, how did I forget? But I went to RSVP during the day. It was Saturday in June, and it was this girl that she made this. She started this like these monthly meetups because she realized that a lot of people move to Charlotte looking for community. They're looking for friends, and she like hosted like meetups once a month, and it was at RSVP. It was really cool. Like I feel like it's the vibe and the crowd that we're talking about that's missing. It was very diverse. The girl who runs it, she's white, but it was white people, Black people, Spanish people, like, and it was like a good vibe. Like I was sitting down at the bar, I don't really drink, so I had my mocktail. The bartender said he had watched my videos before. I met another girl came up to me, said she watched my videos. I was like, oh my God, I feel so special. But I really liked the vibe of RSVP that Saturday. It was the vibe. They were playing all types of music and everyone was vibing to a rap music. Everyone knew the words. Then they'll do like the it was just, I was like, this is more of what we need. I'm going to find the name and put in the description box, but she's doing a good job. She is doing a good job. It was a really, really chill, cool event. RSVP has free parking. Another good thing, it's in South, and I've been there once. I might try it again this weekend because another thing I realized, a lot of people complain about this city, right? But at the same time, even if you go to like New York, you just sit down, like, do the moves come to you in a dream, or do you plan out your weekend? I feel like a lot of people that complain too, they don't plan. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You have to plan your weekends. You have to plan what you want to do and the experiences you want to have. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but like, don't we plan everything else? Don't you make appointments for your hair? Don't you plan, like, don't you meal prep? Don't you take out your outfits? Don't you, at least for me, every week on Sunday, I plan my week out. And I realize that a lot of people that complain about their social life, they don't plan things. They just kind of expect things to happen. Unless you have friends or you have a social circle, you have a core group that does stuff and is going to invite you, you have to plan your weekends. You have to plan what you want to do. So today I made an itinerary because my friend's going to be around for the weekend. And I was like, wow, Nnena, like, you low-key lit. Like, my itinerary is litty. Like, I was like, wow. And I realized also, to my itinerary, I'm trying to try new things, right? I can't keep going to the same places and complaining about the same experiences. I have to switch it up a little bit, so that I realize there's a lot of stuff in Charlotte I still haven't done. And I've been here 3 years.
But so talk about planning, but at the same time, you have to have people to do this stuff with, right? And then you also have to care to go to these places that that you're planning out these events for. It has to be something appealing to you. You're not going to plan to go somewhere you don't care for.
Right, of course. There was an Afrotech mini event mixer around the time Afrotech happened in Charlotte, but I missed it because of working the crowd was younger, 20s. Really, I didn't hear about that. Honestly, we just need to be the organized for the events we want, and they will. Thank you. Another point we talked about on Sunday. I was with my cousin, and we was with a bunch. But like at the same time, maybe we're sent to Charlotte to be the change that Charlotte needs, right? At the same time, someone has to do it. I'm not saying I'm opening the club or anything like that. I'm not in that business. But who knows? Whatever God tells me to do, anywhere He leads me, I will go, right? But at the same time, it's like we can't just sit around and keep complaining. What are we doing? What are we doing to foster the experiences that we want? What are we doing to get the vibe we want? Like all these places like Atlanta, Houston, they weren't always litty, I don't think. They weren't always, it didn't happen overnight. So at the same time, I feel like we have potential, Charlotte. We have the people. The issue is getting them out, dragging them out of their housing and getting them into spaces where they feel like they connect, where they can catch a vibe, where they feel as if they belong, where they like the crowd. That's just the issue. But I think Charlotte really has the people here. We just don't have the space that Ngozi keeps alluding to. Since we're all desperate for proper enjoyment, you're right. Mad Miles has a lot of men. Yes, Mad Miles. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't know if y'all all saw my shirt about Mad Miles. I was supposed to go yesterday, but I wasn't feeling good. I might go on Saturday. But for the first time I've been in Charlotte, all this time, I went to Mad Miles for the first time a couple of months ago. I'm like, Nnena, what have you been doing? Mad Miles got the men, and they be having their shirts off.
Next.
It's good when you have people to go with, or it can be painful, of course. Let me go and draft one hot Afrobeat event on Eventbrite and call up DJ Kaido. For real, like draft the Afrobeat event. I might be there right with you. But like I feel like Charlotte has potential. We're not in the like we're not in Montana or somewhere saying this. You get it. There's certain states where people have, there's like no people. There's like I never been to Montana. So I'm gonna leave Montana alone. But I'm just saying there's certain states out there that I can understand people being frustrated because they don't have the potential, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the people, they don't have nothing. But Charlotte is not on that level. It has a lot of potential, but like you said, it's about curating the experiences that you want. Duke, that is true. Church is also a social point here. It is, but the issue I'm finding in churches, specifically the black churches, don't have men, don't have single men. Black churches is either the men going with the girls, their girlfriends or wives, or just women. I've noticed that a lot. But if you go to like Elevation, you go to there's another church I tried Visions, you go to like white churches, young single men are at church. Young single men are at church. I'm telling you, and I've noticed that so much being down here. I'm just like, what? Like, why don't black men, single black men, go to church? Y'all, come on, y'all, stop going to church because we be at church. Mad Miles does, but my body can't take the running. I walk, messes with my nerves, but I can go serve them water. Oh my God, song culture. This is a comedian. LOL, poor Montana. What are some daytime places to go in Houston besides Chapman and Kirby, please?
I only been there once. So when you say daytime, the issues are all these daytime places. You talk about brunch because I feel as if everything during the day is basically brunch. Like, and they make it like into like a little day party. And to be honest, I'm bad with time, so I really want to start. This is August. I really want to start.
I like day stuff.
I
I'm
like
telling you.
daytime stuff, but the issue is I start my Sunday. I'm already going to church. By the time I'm done with church, all the stuff becomes late. Then Saturdays, I don't. I just try and do too much.
You
I'm
gotta go
cleaning.
straight from church.
I'm
You can't
cleaning. I'm cooking, but I'm not dressed appropriately. I dress a certain type of way for church. I can't go out how I dress for church.
That's kind of true, right?
I have to come home and still change because like I'm not going out like I'm not like I'm just bad, but I'm like covered. Like
Mhm.
I'm not trying to go out and be outside wearing all those clothes. So then Saturdays is really the day, but I end up doing so many errands and stuff like that. Don't worry, Effie.
It's hard to get out early.
Hard
Saturday,
for me to get out. So by the time I even start, if for me to even get on Saturday like at 6, I feel like it's early.
we tried, right?
I even try. So that's the issue on my
But you
Saturdays.
know what the key is, though? If you really want to get out on Saturday, you can't go on Friday. You have to go to sleep early Friday and start your Saturday.
Not that I can't go to the gym. I can't be cleaning. I can't do all
Right,
this stuff.
right.
I start doing like I have to really be like, okay, I'm only doing like one thing. Then I'm going heading out by 1, 2.
And you got to start doing those
I
other
gotta
things
wake up early.
during the week.
And I do a lot during the week. Trust me. Most of my stuff I do in the week. I don't keep stuff to weekend like that. I don't like packing weekends. I do most of my stuff during the week. But yeah, she said I need classy daytime.
Yes. So she's on our vibe.
Yes, classy. One thing about daytime. What am I thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking about if I think about daytime, it's really brunch. Have you been to Bloomin' I went there it's so pretty in there. The pictures, the food is good too. It's by across street from Mastro's. The decor in there is beautiful. Then this new place, Ivy House, it opened up early this year. I went a couple of Fridays ago. It's only open Thursday to Sunday. Oh my God, the inside is so cute. You can take cute pictures outside in the front. It's really nice in there. They have like a little DJ. They play some Afro beats. The vibe is nice. Like by nighttime, I'm saying I haven't been to these places during the day. When I think of, but they have. While I'm never mentioning these places, these places all have brunch. So what I'm gonna start doing, I love brunch. But like I said, I'm late. I never can make it to stuff on time. I need to start going to brunch so I can fill out the daytime vibes of these places.
Yes.
You guys, I'm not gonna go there Thursday in the morning. Like that's crazy. It's either Saturday or Sunday. Like I said, Saturday for me, Sundays are too tight.
But because I think Sunday can work. It's just that you can dress like a little bit, like you.
I can go home. Church is at 12. I have to go home, chill. Maybe
the problem is going home. That's when you get trapped. You can't go home. I feel like there's still certain church outfits that can still be cute and classy for brunch. Like you get what I'm saying? I feel like you need to just get better church clothes.
I got all my Zara clothes.
Yeah, you need
I keep my heels in the car.
If you go to church, wear a sweater on top of it. Wear something, y'all you have AC anyway. Wear like a cover up, a shawl, So if it's
an issue, usually going to church, I'm rushing. I don't have really proper makeup on. Like if I'm really trying to be cute and stuff, like I'm not going like church. I would just go with a face like this. Like I can go normal. But if I'm going, I want to do proper. Like I need to be dressed. I need to have, do makeup and stuff.
Yeah, you got to prep a week ahead. Yes, if you want to get out early on the weekends, you really got to prep in advance. That's strong code. Just like Charlotte, every restaurant says the day part of weekends, they just throw small music and bomb day party. Bloom and Bee, I've been that one in Post Oak. I thought the food was okay.
I just got sushi. I only been there once. Like the food was, it wasn't bad. Just the ambiance it's really really cute in there. But thinking in terms of like day party stuff, like it's just, to me, I just think of just brunches. That's
Right.
what people do today. I know if you heard about that. They threw that Afro brunch couple Saturdays ago. I wanted to go. It sold out, but the ticket was like $125. I can't remember the name.
Oh, you told us about that.
Yeah, Afro brunch. It's something that was on a Saturday. Like they had some like special guests or whatever there. But like it's Houston, things are always happening, girl. Like for it's just having the people to do it with and being aware of all these events. But I think when I think of more of day stuff, it's definitely brunch or like a day party.
That's a good idea. Brunch may have to start being a movie. Yeah, I don't do brunch at all, so I need to take that advice. Yep, I'll take your advice because the night scene isn't a regular vibe for me unless there's a table and absolutely no after hour spots.
Girl, I went to after I tried after hour spots first time in July, two of them. I said, oh no. I was in one in there for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
The hookah was getting to, I said, I gotta go. Never first off, I don't even need to be out to sleep. My head is hurting. I'm
The
tired.
club is late enough.
Club is late enough. The after hour spots, that's really where the married men are. The uncles who are running away from the house. So after the club, they still don't want to go. They want to sneak in when their wife is in deep REM or something. They don't like their like it's crazy because they really like it just it's literally one of them came up to me. Listen, I'm just like, you know, this is even how I pose to them. I don't even give them an answer to lie. I say, does your wife know you're out at this time? I just already tell, like, I know you have, I know it. Like, I'm already presenting it to you. Yeah, but you know, it's
Listen, let me tell you about the DoorDash driver real quick yesterday. Homeboy looked mature, like 40s. Talk about, oh, I'm like, okay. So, can I get, he want to invite me to this Anambra day this Saturday, whatever. You know, we outside. So I'm just like, so you're married, right? No, I'm not married. And at the end, I was like, he's like, you're not gonna give me a number? I was like, no. I was like, because you're married, I don't do married. He's like, well, it's like 50-50. I said, what does that mean? How can you be 50-50 married? How? It's either you're married or you're not. There's no in between. Like, how could you be 50-50 with marriage? How? Like these men out here, like it's just scary out here. Those women just be praying. Like we just have to pray and fast because
fasting,
don't
praying.
starve. Yo, ha ha ha, LMA, yo, Deep Rem had me in shambles. Yes, they want to sneak. Because it's right. They want to sneak into the house when the wife is in
When did you come home? I came home at 12:30. You didn't hear me. like, like it's just like to me, it's like it's on another level. And I feel like kind of also too the after hour spots, the crowd is a little raw. It's raw. It's not a little. The crowd is raw. Like I don't like their
Yeah,
crowds.
that's even in Charlotte.
I don't like the crowd of people that are going there. Like I don't like. I'm not like I'm good. Like I have my little experience. I'm good. I don't need to go to any of them. I'm good. After the club, I'm going to my house. Even this Saturday, I went out. Then after they want to go to after hours, I pull up in this spot. What's the spot called? Is it Liquid Lounge? They said, "Oh, $20 parking." I tell my friends, I'm tired. That's like a sign from God. Like it's,
After hours?
what?
Oh,
What is
so
it?
in Charlotte, the after hours places are in the house.
No, they're at clubs. Like people go to after the club, like other spots. They were there like till 5 a.m. 20. I'm not paying $20 to park to enter this that I already know I'm not gonna like, based on what I see. I'm like, no, let me go to my house. I'm good. I'm okay.
Not the married uncles. Auntie must hear this screaming. Yes, married men have that look. Yes, that aged look, like you married with kids. LOL. Ha ha. It's giving low vibrational at those places. Plus, why am I even there to open legs? I love the Lord, please. Yes, it seems like you on.
Vibration is big. That's a big thing I say. It's not about, especially as people of color, when you say certain
I
things.
use that term a lot. Low vibration.
Who use that term?
One of my friends uses that
People
term.
people think it's like you being bougie or you think you're better than people. No, it's energy. People have energies. When you go to certain places, the energy that place emits, you're like, yeah, I don't belong here. Our energies don't
Mhm.
match. It's not about me.
The Holy Spirit is telling you
Those
to leave.
people there probably have more in their savings than me. They can
Right.
have more in their bank than me. It's not about money. It's deeper than money. Our energy is off. I can't be somewhere like this
Vibe
proud.
is somehow.
I can't be proud of myself at a place like this. And here, like laughing, like no, like I don't belong here. I don't fit in. Like it's not my vibe. So I do believe doing stuff earlier in the day is a big one. If you really don't want like
But
that whole
the thing is, I feel like in the days, just women come out. Like these brunches and stuff we're naming, like, if someone, it's different. Are you trying to catch a vibe? You're trying to meet people. Because I feel like this brunch thing, if you're just trying to catch a vibe, that's fine. But I feel like guys don't really do brunch. They don't come out in the day. I feel like brunch and day stuff really is like unless you make it a day party, unless it's like an actual day party, like or rooftop. Like I feel like when you go out in the day, all these brunches just gonna be around women. Yes, they are in the house. I said that again. Yeah, Charlotte after hours spots. We have a law here. We don't have spots that are legally open. Only place we know Safari open till 4. I don't know how they get away with that, but like after the club, like the club, like Safari, people go to after hour. They're in people's houses.
No, I'm good.
So dangerous, so risky, so never again. When you get to a certain age, most people you meet are in it for themselves, selfish. No, I cannot be proud of myself. LOL, trying to say I can't be proud of myself, and that is true. Maybe sports events, but thank you, men, but they are focused. Thank you, sporting events. Listen, Charlotte has a soccer team, football, basketball time. They even have a new baseball team. Your girl is going to a baseball game this month. I had it in my calendar last month. But I just want to, it's not even just about the Met. I just want to do different stuff. There's a new exhibit in, I believe, the Met Museum, like a Black exhibit. I want to go to that. Like, there's so much, like, I just at a point, I want to do different type of stuff. Every day is not club. Every day is not dinner. Every day is not brunch. There's so much more to do than to go to club.
Do a proper brunch. I haven't done a proper brunch in a while.
Women outnumber men significantly, and good men are far and few. She said, "Go to Whole Foods for the healthy girl stores for the men." I go to Whole Foods all the time, but I guess guys do go there. I guess you got to get the timing right. Charlotte doesn't have a lot of after-hour spots to prevent drinking and driving because most people don't live central to where things happen. It seems like when you get a certain age, it don't look right being in the clubs or bars all the time. Yes, hi Mia. Yeah,
You still look like a 6 foot man.
Yeah, it's like unserious kind of, or like you did, like I don't know. It's like it's weird to. I understand what you mean.
You outgrow certain things. Not to say people are talking negative about club. I can go to the club, but it has to be something happening.
Right.
Like I'm not just going to the club every weekend just for fun. You gotta. It's too much. I'm not going to the club to stand around. I don't have time for that. I will sit in my house and watch YouTube. I watch later how many videos I haven't watched yet that are waiting for me. Netflix things I haven't even put on. I want to watch. I don't force it. Like sometimes it be happening. It has to be an event. Even being in I feel like even being in a big city like Houston where things are always happening, it almost makes you even like
care less about it.
Yeah, because like you can always get it again. Like it's not like a one, like I miss every week. There's so many events. It's like even overwhelming. Like I just like, okay, no, I'm not going to that. I'm tired. I'm not going here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But maybe if I was in a smaller city and these things would be a bigger deal. Like, oh my God.
Because he had Rima next to her. She didn't go to
came July. I didn't go to David. I'm saying, okay, I'll see him next time. He'll come again.
Right. That's true. Charlotte, David came to Charlotte. Hey.
Ira Star was there last Thursday at a rooftop by me. I'm like, oh no, I'll see her another. She was here early this year too. I'll see her again. I'll see these people again because they're always here.
People are always in Houston. That's true. Yes, every grocery is it. GS2, I cannot do sports for myself, although except golf. Outside of Top Golf, no. In fact, if you catch me at a game, I'm looking for a man. I actually enjoy sporting events, especially basketball. Miss Mermaid's always at the unassuming places. That's how I was in bigger cities. Still chill because it happens so much. Is it that the older we get, we don't have the energy like we used to? I think that's definitely a part of it.
I say I wish I moved to Houston a little younger because there's certain spots I wouldn't even enter because I'm just like, no, like I wouldn't even try.
She's very picky with her moves.
I'm picky. Like I'll say it for free. Like I'm not about to be jumping up and down, just wasting time. Like I don't have time for that. Like of course I understand you have to try things to an extent. You can't. Like
I need to try. You know, you're not gonna like.
I went to a few places last month I would never go to again in my life. Like I know, like I would never walk in here. Like I got the experience.
The names of it.
I know. I just got the experience. I know I didn't like the crowd. I did not like it. It was not for me. So I just feel as if it comes to a point you do have to try, but I also understand people say I'm not going to try everything.
Right.
Based off of the vibe and I'm getting even period in terms of going out. I say this all the time. I know it may sound. You go out, number one, just to have a good time.
Right.
You can also be mindful of the type of people you're going to run into, but be more focused on where the type of places you're going to versus who might be like going to where men are not. Go to high quality places and bring good energy. I think that's more important than because at the end of the day, I say all the time, I feel like you can meet somebody anywhere. You can meet someone at CVS. It's not only when you go to a wedding, you go wear all this makeup, you put on all these clothes, and all these men there. The men even at weddings, they all have girlfriends. They're all even there with their partner. These men are not single. Like let's be like all these places that we think, oh yeah, we're gonna see people. Sometimes you even be same with the club. I tell people all the time, despite the club having a negative, don't discount the club. You can meet someone good in the club.
Okay.
You can meet someone anywhere, anywhere. I don't believe there's a place to go to meet people, men in particular. I don't believe it. I just feel like wherever you go, look decent. You know what I mean? Look nice, be nice. You know, be approachable, and go from there. Take it from there.
Yes, always. Yep, you just never know. I just go and don't expect anything. That's the best thing because when you always
I don't
expect,
go out expecting to see no man, nothing. I don't go
honestly, I'm going out to explore the city I live in. That's
out.
when I think about when I go out. That's really my main thing. Oh, like this weekend on my itinerary is Nota 101. Shout out to some of my subscribers who told me about it. Still need to make that trip. I said, it's been how many months I've heard about Nota 101? I haven't been there. I plan to go there this week. I'm not going to Nota 101 meet someone. It's karaoke, and I actually like karaoke. Like low key, a girl got a little bit of voice in her. You get what I'm saying? So like, I want to go to karaoke. So I'm not going to Nota One because I think my husband's going to be there. No, I'm going there because I want to try somewhere different in the city that I live in. I want to have a good time. You get what I'm saying? So I think sometimes women get too focused on where am I going to meet someone? Where am I going to go meet people? The key is just get out the house. Okay. That's just the key. Just get out of your house and just have fun and enjoy your life.
You gotta
Go.
you gotta be positive and persistent. Yes, positive. I'm telling you, energy. I know I don't want to sound too kumbaya-ish, but I'm telling you, I can tell you for free personal experience, your mindset is everything. It starts with the is your mindset. You got to get your mind out the gutter. Stop thinking negatively. Stop saying negative things. So a man think it is who he is, or where how or what's in a man's heart. Let me not misquote the word too much, but I'm telling you, it's very true. So you got to start with your mindset.
Get you a black power brother and problem solved. Okay. Mia, but it seems like all the good looking guys or guys that got stuff together are taken. Obviously, of course. Why won't they be taken? They have a lot of options. Of course. Of course. And it kind of makes you even wonder sometimes when you meet men who have it all together and they're still crying single, it starts to even be like a red flag, like why are you single? Because we know how
You
many
can't say that about women.
no, because women don't control relationships. Men
They
control
don't have as much control. Yeah.
much control. You get what I'm saying? A woman could be amazing, have all these great qualities, but she's coming across a bunch of guys who are not serious. So it's not necessarily her fault. But a man, ultimately, like women choose, but the man is the one that says yes. Can you be in a relationship with me? You get what I'm saying? A woman's not supposed to really ask a man to be in a relationship. That's
Mm,
a man's job. Um, Not all Mia. You only need one to not be taken. Not all of them. Exactly. Positive mindset. They're never alone for long at Mia. Never alone for. But Mia, are you the one that still wants someone at 6 foot? Because maybe some 5'10" men are not taken. Maybe some 5'9" men are not taken. But over six. When you start putting those height requirements, all the girls want the tall man. Let's be
I'm
honest.
talking about when I have met some guys, they're telling me how the issue with big cities is that this one guy said that 80% of women are going after 20% of the men.
It's true.
Like all, and I'm like, the issue is that you can't say there's not men, but is it the men that you want?
Right.
It's just men. Like I said at the time, people say there's not men. That's not true. But the idea is that a lot of women are going after the same men. So these men that are part of that 20% that he used know that they're part of that 20%. And they use it to their advantage because they know that it's a numbers game and that they have the upper hand and that they have the pick. You know what I mean? They have a bunch of women to pick from. And that's just and it's not to say to go in because trust me, someone who's not the 20% can still do you wrong, right? End of the day, men are men and people are people. But at the same time, it just is very interesting perspective, especially being in bigger cities where you have a lot of professional men. You have people coming there for work or really good jobs. Like even one person mentioned the extremes, right? So if you talk about somewhere like Charlotte, you feel like those extremes exist. Imagine how much harder it makes it for women. Because if those extremes are there and there's like here and here, everyone wants that higher for the
Right.
most part. You know what I mean? So like more people are fighting for that extreme versus going towards that middle where you feel like there's not a lot of options. But
Women don't have as many options. It not into Black Power. They don't have it all together. I'm just saying they probably secretly. I don't know what you're talking about. Mia said, "LOL, yes, yeah. You only 5'7". I still don't understand the whole 6 foot thing because I'm 6'2" and
your
I
height requirement is your height. I know women don't like to hear it.
personally I feel like as long as the man is your height, you should be okay. That's my
You don't go to sleep in heels.
the one. But I'm saying for the women that are complaining that they're not getting what they want, open up your options a little bit.
It
If
may
you
be, it may be going down to a couple inches.
Right. If you're 5'7", at least say 5'9", 5'10", but 6 foot, I don't see why you need a man 5 inches taller than you. Your heels are not 5 inches. They're
You
not.
don't wear heels all day.
Average heels is three inches. Gotta vet people for character plus chemistry. Chemistry is a big one. Character and chemistry, yes, the two C's. Because even if you have good character and there's no chemistry, it's not gonna work. But how many guys are 30 and up with no kids and got it together? To be honest, I don't know if it's because I mainly deal with African men. This is common for them to be 30 and up with no kids and got it together. So I think I'm very biased because I'm not gonna lie, those are the only men that I deal with. And it's getting to their head too. I have my issues with my African men, my Nigerian men too, but I only deal with them. So when I hear people making these comments, I can't really relate because I don't really run into men that don't have their thing together or who have kids. Those are not the type of men that I usually deal with. So I think I'm a bit biased. How do y'all feel about approaching a man, not necessarily pursuing him, but initiating conversation? Some you see as possibility. I think that's what a lot of women do, and I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I just don't think a woman should pursue a man. I don't think a woman should chase a man, but I don't think nothing is wrong with letting a man know that you're interested. God forbid, but I'm African, so that's a no. I do like chasing a man, approaching a man. Yeah, I find American girls usually don't have a problem with it. But oh, I like your shirt. Oh, I like your shoes. Or how tall are you? Those type of questions. But I feel like growing up with that African culture, it's like a taboo to like approach a man or go up to men, and sometimes it could do us a bit of a disservice because it's real out here. Like if you see something you like, why are you waiting? You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you have to throw yourself on him, but I don't think anything's wrong with showing interest. There's a lot of men over 30 with no children. LMA, your approaching gives chase. Something about it doesn't sit well with me.
Because the reality is, I think about it this way: if you just wait for who approaches you, do you know how limited you are?
Exactly.
Because the reality is that someone could even be interested in you, at least give an opening to him. Yes, if someone could be interested in you, you could be interested in someone. Not every man's gonna just approach a woman like that. And the reality, when you wait for them, we know the men that approach us. Let's be real. The ones that are gonna approach you, 90% of them, you're not gonna want them. 95. It's gonna be the ones that have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. That's why they're so confidently coming up to you. So I don't necessarily feel that it means. I don't necessarily think it's chasing. I think it's different. Like pursuing a man is different.
Right.
But opening up,
pursuing a man.
Yeah, like I think it's just different.
See, even if you say something innocent, they know you are pursuing them. Men are not dumb. A lot of men actually ask this question and they don't have a problem at all with a woman coming up to them. Like I said, like, don't you view it as like maybe that woman is desperate, she's cheap? He said, no, it makes it easier for me. Like a lot of men ask this question. I think sometimes it's in our head. It's all about the way you do it.
Old culture, like Evie's bringing up. That's what our mothers would probably say. Oh, you're not supposed to go up to a man. You're done. But
your mother was in a generation where men did what they're supposed to do. We're not in a generation.
A lot of things that our mothers wouldn't do, men now, if you're not doing it, is another situation now. So even in the bedroom. So let's not get to that. But it's like things are different now. Things are very different. We can't. Sometimes I notice that we can't take our parents' advice. We can't take because they grew up in a different time and things were different. So they don't understand what's going on now in this 20th. The dating climate, the environment now is different.
What are they? 30 and up, no kids, got it together, 6 foot and taller, nice looking, can dress. You asking for a lot, Mia. You're not when you're ready. When you're actually ready, come back to this chat. Because right now you're not ready. Look at what you're describing. Look at what you're looking for.
Unicorn.
Like dress. You talk about dressing, looking nice, 6 foot and taller, got it together, no kids, 30. When you're ready,
you find that one the way you want it. 20 other girls want it. 50 other girls want it. 100 other girls want it. And that one that has, unless he's a very different breed. Hello, Mia, baby. I got bad news.
When you're ready, I'm just curious how old you are. You're in your 30s yet, or are you still in your 20s? Because I feel like you're in your 20s. When you're ready, come back to this chat when you're ready. You're not ready. You're really not ready. You're not ready. Oh, give an opening 1,000%. I thought you meant going out of the way. No, give it an opening. Just stare at him. That's key. You just look at a guy, he knows what's up. Stare at him and he look at you. Don't look away. You be trying to look away. They look at you, act shy. No, don't look away. Look even harder when he sees that you're looking at him. You don't got to say anything. Oh, I see. Mia, those men exist over the phone 15,000 miles away. They never in your vicinity. Is it a red flag to be 30 plus with kids as a man? I don't think so. Maybe 40 plus.
With no kids as a man.
No kids as a man, no. 30, I don't think so at all. 30 plus, no. I would say maybe 40 plus. I would say more.
Never been married. 40
never been married, no kids. I think
that can be a red flag.
Yeah, that could be a red flag. But 30 is young. I don't expect a man 30, most black men at 30 to be married.
Hmm.
Like even 35, like I don't even expect them to be married. But yo, we've been on this live an hour and 33 minutes.
It's not easy, y'all. We work today. It's not easy doing this. Anyone who's a content creator. I think Evie, I think I see you had a channel. I don't want us to. If you have your channel, then we can shout you out. But anyone who does content creation, it's not easy. So we appreciate y'all. All we ask is that you like this video. It helps the algorithm push it out. We want people to watch this back on replay and engage with us. They get to even see the chat and see what we're commenting, so they can feel like they're here in real time. You're always welcome to, show your love, super chat, whatever. We appreciate anything, but just like the video. Yes, we've been going through the comments. I think I saw your page. Yeah, you're cool. So
You have done well. Thank you. So,
Ivy, you live in Houston? So you're in the Houston area? Are you from here? You just moved here?
Evie is your vibe. Y'all should link up because she bougie too. So, we have a question, y'all. So we're gonna start going live during the week, Monday or Wednesday. Is any difference? And like I said earlier, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put in the comment section what y'all think is better, Monday or Wednesday, and put the time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Because I noticed a lot of people started joining once it like hit 9-ish. Like it got more lit. Like a lot of people started joining. I don't know if it's because of we were just on for a while and they started coming up in the algorithm. I don't know if it's because of the time. People are back from the gym, done with dinner. But just let us know Monday or Wednesday and the time y'all prefer. Please put in the chat.
Oh, you're moving heavy from where? Oh, you moving? Hey, so you already know about Houston, and you at least you come and we're prepared. Don't forget to check out our playlist about Houston.
Subscribe, please, everyone. Love finding other creators. Thanks for going on live. No problem. It'll be weekly. It's not a red flag. Just becomes more.
I went through these already. I went through all of
You
them.
went this? Okay, she said, Dalu, great live, ladies. Wednesday. Song Culture said Wednesday, 35. I'm very picky. Either one is fine with me. Love y'all chats. Wednesday, 8 p.m., but 6 p.m. preferred 6. Woo! That's early. She said
AC. It is on, but I've been sitting down for an hour and a half, and I got
this AC. I told her earlier. She said,
it's not that's my. I have this bright light in front of me, so that's what's
999 super sticker.
That this bright light is making me so hot. Oh my God.
Making me hot too. I wanted to go
anything for the content. This light is like shining. That's what's making my face. And it's trying to talk about, oh yeah, face is making, and my serum is coming out. My all my face stuff. But trust me, I'm about to go put the AC up when we done. But
yes, either one for me. I'll be here. Love these comps. Okay, I think Monday's gonna work better. Just past Monday, I had an event to go to, so it didn't work out. But I think Monday's gonna work better. We'll do Monday, keep it at 8 p.m. That way we can go longer if we have to, and we won't feel rushed because 9 p.m. might get too late. So 8 p.m. Everything in Charlotte's closed. Everything in Houston is closed. So Monday, y'all got nothing to do. Y'all just come on the live every Monday, 8 p.m. Be here or be square.
Notifications. Number one, today we didn't set it up early. Talk to Nnena. So we have to do at least 24 hours before the live. We have it set up so y'all can go. Y'all get the notifications, but also put on your notification bell. So even if we decide one day, okay, we're just going live right now, you're gonna get a notification on your phone, on the screen. Ejima and then Ngazi are live, so you don't miss a live. So make sure all you have your notification bells on. But usually we do try and schedule the live at least 24 hours in advance, so okay, we're going live this day. You could plan. I know I am. That's how I am. I know my people I watch on lives. I plan accordingly, or I'm hurt and go to the gym so I can come back and be back when they're on time because they plan it. You're planning out, in advance. And I do also watch people that go live and it's very random. But also too, sometimes I miss it because I don't know that they're going live, but I make sure I put my notification bells on for the people I know that go live, so I don't miss their lives.
She said maybe announce on Sunday to remind us. Yeah, because Sunday we're gonna be chopping up these lives, making some regular videos too. So videos will be coming out on Sunday, then we'll be going live. Yeah, so that'll be that's possible, a reminder. We'll put it up. Even Saturday, we can put it up. We can put it up early. Just sometimes things happen. If it changes, it changes. But thank you guys all so much for joining us. 1 hour, 37 minutes, 55 seconds. It's not. I thought live is gonna be 30 minutes, but as you can see, we're talkers. Twins who talk. That's the motto of our channel. Like my twins.
This one's a talker.
So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next Monday. A very juicy topic. I don't want to tell you guys, but it's gonna be very, very juicy on Monday. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned and supporting our channel. It means so much to us. And have a great evening. Bye. Clap nights.